everybody, welcome back to pH Balance. My name is Steven with a PH, and this is just a little quick little update vlog, if you will. It's been a few days, well, that's not true. It's been a few weeks since I've updated anything recently. I've been uploading, I have some backlog, but I haven't really filmed anything since Doki Doki, and I haven't actually sat down and talked with you guys since probably the 50 subscriber video. I don't even know, 100 subscribers. So the new year. I haven't even had like a one-on-one conversation with you guys. Well, I almost got shot. Whataburger video. Anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about. I saw this really cool thing. I love listening to podcasts, so I guess I didn't see it, I heard it. God, this is a mess. It's Ear Biscuits, Rhett and Link. If you've never seen them before, they run the channel Good Mythical Morning. They're really big. I don't need to plug them or send a link to them or anything. You could literally just type in Good Mythical Morning on YouTube and find all of their stuff. They post like 2-3 videos a day, so they're huge. I heard them talk on their podcast about, you know, every single year at the end of the year, they make a list of their top 10 favorite things that happened that year, whether it be in the world or to themselves or just the top 10 best things that came out of the year. And you know, I thought that'd be a really cool thing to do. I don't really take the time to sit down and think about those things, but I think it's a nice little challenge and a nice thing to kind of shine a spotlight on the happy moments that we've had the past year, because, you know, we've all had a lot of terrible ones, I'm sure. And they said that finding 10 things in 2020 was hard. Usually they have way more than 10, they have to cut it down to 10, and this past year they had to come up with 10. It was kind of the same for me. I think I found 5 really cool things I wanted to talk about like right off the bat, and then I kind of had to figure out the other 5 later on. But yeah, I thought that'd be a really cool thing to do, and I encourage all of you guys, anyone who's watching this, to also make a top 10, because it's really easy to focus on the negatives and kind of get down on yourself. Not as easy to focus on the positives and the good things. So go ahead, write down the 10 best things that happened to you and just celebrate yourself for a minute. You know, practice some self-love. And before we get into that, you may be noticing 2 things. I think this is the first time since I've made the channel that I haven't had facial hair, so go ahead, check that out. But also, this cool little thing right here. How cool is this freaking hoodie? First of all, I love the colors, but we also got a PH right there for the channel. That's awesome. I should also just like say that I've been really into online shopping recently, which I did say in the bird mask video. If you haven't checked that one out, click on the link up here. But I've been buying a whole bunch of stuff. Got this, got a Hufflepuff mask because I lied in the Hufflepuff video and said I had a face mask, but I didn't. Now I do. I have 2 other custom-made face masks coming soon, so we'll check those out later. I have my bird face mask from the Untitled Goose Game videos, as well as some new lighting, recording stuff for the channel. Bought a whole bunch of new games to play on the channel soon, so be checking that out. And I got a VR headset for my birthday in December, and I haven't even opened the box yet. So that's where we're at. And just to date this video, if you didn't already know, Texas just suffered some really terrible winter storms. That was last week. So I'm just now getting back into my apartment. I have power, I have water, yay, but the whole entire apartment outside of my room is being like completely renovated. I mean, walls torn down, ceilings torn down, so we're living, we're getting there. But yeah, without further ado, my top 10. We'll start with number 10, which would be Zoom. Now, if you haven't heard of Zoom, or you don't know what Zoom is, then you must not have lived through 2020. I don't know how our society would have functioned this past year without Zoom, and the reason why it's 10 out of 10 is because we all know this. It's nothing new to be talking about this, and sure, Zoom isn't how anyone wants to be doing things. You know, we'd much rather be doing things in person, going out and everything, but it's been an amazing piece of technology to have in the time where we're not able to go out and do things. So Zoom is on my list for a couple different reasons. I have 2 main jobs that I work. YouTube doesn't give me any income yet, go ahead, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below and watch all of my videos, because once I get 4,000 hours worth of watch time and 1,000 subscribers, I can start making money on YouTube, and that would be really cool, because this is a brand new passion of mine that I do want to pursue. But anyways, before I started doing YouTube, I had 2 main jobs. I work at an escape room. I work for a company called American Immersion Theater. It is the parent company of the Murder Mystery Company, which I am a director for. So those are 2 huge jobs that require in-person experiences, you know, being in the room to do the escape room and being in person to do a murder mystery dinner party. So once Corona hit, I know a lot of companies and a lot of people, well, a lot of people were laid off, but a lot of people were able to do work from home. I wasn't, until we figured it out with Zoom. We were able to do murder mystery parties over Zoom, wrote completely new scripts, and then for the escape room, we actually were able to do Zoom escape rooms, which is freaking awesome. You know, you'd have someone sitting on the Zoom call helping the team, giving them clues, but then you also have someone in the actual room with a camera. So it's kind of like living as an avatar in a video game. So I get to have a little camera strapped on my head with a little light, and I get to go around the room, and I have 10 people on a Zoom call telling me, oh, go over there, pick up this thing, put this combination in. So yeah, I've been living the dream of being in a video game without being in a video game. It's really cool. So I'm able to make my income through that. So thank you, Zoom. That keeps the roof over my head. But then I've also been able to have game nights with friends. I've been able to grow closer with friends, you know, just hanging out, talking, chilling, in some much needed time, because right when Corona hit was a really hard time for me. I already talked about this in a few other videos, but that was one of the darker times of my life, was even before Corona hit, like the months leading up to it. So then being alone for that time was something I had to figure out. So just having Zoom as a tool for both work and for connectivity with friends, meeting new friends or connecting with old ones, was a really cool thing. So thank you, Zoom. You really did help make 2020 a brighter year. And now we will move on to number 9, which I don't even remember what it is, so let's consult the phone. Number 9, The Real Housewives of Dallas. If you haven't watched that video yet, go ahead and watch that one. It's very fun. I don't give really any details away. And most of you probably thought that was a joke or a lie, but no, I actually was on The Real Housewives of Dallas. You know, I mean, it's a job I've been doing for almost 3 years now, so it was like any other party that I've done. It wasn't anything special or new, other than the fact that it was televised, and we had, we got to meet some really cool people. I mean, we got to meet the Real Housewives. It was just a really awesome experience. I've never been on a live functioning set before, and you know, film and television is something I'm really passionate about and something that I do want to get into and work in that field. So it was nice to kind of see the behind the scenes. I can't wait to see how they make it all dramatic, because I know that they're gonna like edit in housewives talking shit about other housewives, but during the show they were very nice to us and very nice to each other, so it was just a very pleasant experience. I was afraid that they would someone would leave in the middle of the show and we wouldn't be able to finish it, but nope, that didn't happen, so awesome. That also leads me into number 8, the promotion to being the murder mystery director for my troupe. Nick, who a lot of y'all know through this channel, if not through me, because most of you watching this know me in real life, I'm sure. He was the Houston director before me. You can hear a little bit more about that on his podcast. This is just going to be a lot of plugs. I'm just going to tell you now. His podcast, Nick Minus Nambi, he interviewed me because on my channel, we played the 10 best Nintendo 64 games of all time. Go check that series out as well. And then in return, after we've played all 10 of those Nintendo 64 games, we talked about our experience playing them on his podcast and then ranked them. But then we also talked about how we met, how I got into acting, childhood stories, stuff like that. It's a really fun, just an hour long. If you enjoy my content, you'll enjoy that podcast. We talked about how I was dragged to the audition. I didn't want to do it. I had no interest in being in the Murder Mystery Company. I met Nick, thought he was super cool. It was like looking into a mirror the first time I saw him. The same interests, we looked very similar, looked alike, we had the same personality. We're very different people, and we've learned that now, but at the time it was like, wow. You know, I got to do acting, improv, and meet some really cool people, so I just kept at it for a year, and at the end of the year, I was offered his position when he stepped down, which was really nice. And it gave me the opportunity to be in The Real Housewives of Dallas, which Nick was also in. This job has done an amazing job of not only putting a roof over my head, but giving me a very comfortable living to where I can do YouTube, take some time off here and there to do these videos, and just, you know, enjoy life. Because for all the years before now, I would not spend any money on myself. I would eat like crap, or I just wouldn't eat at all, and I would just stay home, not pay for any sort of entertainment. And so now I get to actually, you know, treat myself a little bit, which is really nice. I've really enjoyed my time with this company, and they take care of me, and hopefully I take care of them right back. Number 7, film acting classes. I have an amazing film actor by the name of Brian Thornton. He may not be in Houston much longer. He's thinking about moving to LA or somewhere else where he can become, you know, more of a star than he already is, and he really does deserve it. He's an amazing human being and a very talented man. He's been like a mentor to me, almost like a father. I won't go quite that far because I still have my father, and he is an amazing person too, one of my best friends. Love you, Dad. Brian has been an amazing friend, mentor, and father figure to me as well. I've known him for a couple years now. I've been taking classes from him for probably about 3 or 4 years. When all this stuff started getting really dark in my life, right at the beginning of 2020, he was there for me. And it's been really nice having a consistent schedule I can keep up with even through Corona and COVID. You know, we are still having the film classes online through Zoom. Shout out to you, number 10. I've grown a lot as an actor. I've learned a lot from him, both as an actor and as a human being, and just as a man. He's taught me what it means to be a man, to hold yourself accountable and to take responsibility and to, you know, give it your all the time and treat others with kindness. I've learned more from him than I have from the years of therapy I've had. So that says something. He's given me tools to take care of myself, and I can't thank him enough. And just getting to learn all the acting techniques from him, and just going week after week and having him be like, you nailed it. Even though I'm submitting for all these projects and I'm not getting a chance to audition because I have no credits. You know, the life of an actor, if you don't know it, you gotta build your resume to get jobs, and you gotta have a resume to get jobs. So you can't get jobs without a resume, and you can't get a resume without jobs. It's an endless cycle, and it sucks. But I feel very good about myself knowing I'm putting in good work in class, and one day if I keep working hard at it, things will come to me. And the same goes for you, for whatever you're into, whatever kind of hobbies or things you're working towards in life. Just keep at it, believe in yourself, always be growing. Hashtag always be growing, and you'll get there eventually, okay? Keep at it. Number 6. Don't know what it is. Let's see. Boss battle. Now, if you don't follow me on social media, make sure to go follow me on Instagram at phbalance20. So it's my YouTube handle plus 20 at the end. PH Balance was taken, and I started the channel in 2020, so PH Balance 20. There you go. Follow me on TikTok too, same name, PH Balance 20. There you go. Plug, 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 plug. My good friend Nick Pinelli, everyone, the man I do half of my videos with, the man who has Nick minus Namdi the podcast, and who just started his own production company for films, Front. God, I'm gonna butcher these fucking names. Front Pocket Productions. He made his first short film. He wrote this short film, he produced it, he filmed it, he directed it. The only thing he didn't do was act in it, but he did all of those things. He wrote a script called Boss Battle, and he sent it to me for ideas, thoughts, and I read it and I knew instantly that it was a clever idea and it was going to be something fun and something cool. And I wanted to be a part of it. I didn't know how or when or why, but I knew I wanted something to do with it. I kind of suggested to him, Nick, why don't you just have me do it, you know? Like, I don't remember if he asked me if I wanted to, and I was like, yes, please, why haven't you asked me sooner, or if I suggested it. But somewhere along the lines, we were like, man, we're having a really hard time finding this lead character. Steven, why don't you do it? Yes, please. So I got to do this film. It was my first film ever. I was really happy with how it turned out, other than my hair. My hair looked like shit that whole film. Nick, the film turned out great. We had some great actors in it. And it was just a really cute story, little to no talking. I think there's only like 3 or 4 spoken words in the entire film. But it was just a very amazing process, just getting to work with my really good friend. There's no ego about it either, which was fantastic. He had some amazing ideas. He wrote that script beautifully, but he still came to me and was like, what do you think? How do you want to do this? And I was able to give a few little director points here and there too. So I got to help him figure out how to shoot some things and what would look good. And so, you know, the entire thing was directed, filmed by him, and it looked beautiful, but it was nice to know that he trusted me enough to come to me and be like, I don't know how to do this, what do you think we should do? I got his permission. It's doing short film competitions right now, so we're not able to release it anywhere, but once we are able to release it, he's gonna put it up on his website that he's making for Front Pocket Productions. And since I got to star in it, I am going to be putting it on the channel. So once that comes out, I'll make some sort of announcements, but go check that out because I'm really proud of it. And it's my first film ever. So please don't bully me in the comments, lie to me and tell me my hair looks good. Number 5, writing the short film Along for the Ride. Now, once again, I made a post about this recently on the social medias, but I actually wrote a script. It was originally titled Uber Meets. Get it? Like Uber Eats, but meats. And it's not spelled M-E-A-T-S like food. It's like M-E-E-T-S. It's a cute little story. I won't give too much of it away because, again, once we're done shooting it, which we're doing right now, that's also going to be going up on the channel. So I want y'all to check that out. It's just a story about an Uber driver who's a little lonely and depressed in life and comes across a girl that he ends up driving one day, and they click and become really, really good friends. And it's just about their friendship. It's a nice little slice of life. There is a plot, but it's not really intended to have a plot. It's just like taking a little snippet of someone's life. So that's my favorite kind of films to watch, and it's my favorite kind of films to write. Going for realism and making it feel like, you know, two real-life people who are young and just struggling to find their way. I wrote this script right during quarantine, literally the first month of quarantine. I just sat down and wanted to do something creative. I came up with this idea and wrote the very last scene of it back in 2017 or 2018. And I hadn't touched it since. So once 2020 struck, I was like, I'm gonna sit down and write this. I wrote the entire thing in like 2 days, 45 pages in 1 to 2 days. And then after Nick's film was done, I sent him my script, was like, why don't you read this? Since you shared with me, I'm trying to get more comfortable with sharing things because I'm not comfortable sharing my stuff. I'm very uncomfortable singing in front of people, sharing my writing with people, my acting with people, so I'm trying to get better about that. And these YouTube videos are helping, so yay! I sent it to him, he liked it. He surprised me by literally the second boss battle was done filming. He was like, we're gonna make your film now. And I was like, why? It's not ready. But I've been doing rewrites. We have an amazing team. I'm actually going to be the main character in it because once again, I wrote the main character based off myself, and it just made sense for me to play it since, you know, I wrote it, I know the character, I know exactly how I want it to go, I already know all the lines, I don't even have to memorize it. And it's really easy for me to play because I wrote it based on me. And it just gives me more stuff on my resume so that hopefully I can start doing some more film stuff. Like I said, it's what I love. But I'm really excited to share this with you guys, so I can't wait for it to wrap up. We just had a meeting about it, which was great. We're casting it this weekend in a couple days, so stay tuned. We'll see how that goes. Number 4, isolation. And I'm sure there's a better word for it, but that's the word I chose because I didn't choose to be stuck inside all of 2020, nor did any of you, I'm sure. We were forced into that situation by the quarantine, so it was a little bit of isolation. And I know that that time could have been really, really hard for a lot of people out there, and if it was for you, I'm incredibly sorry. You know, everyone's lives changed drastically. I know as long as I've been on this earth, we've never had any sort of situation like this. So I've never experienced this before, especially now that I'm older and I live by myself. I didn't have people in my home that I interacted with every day. I was literally alone. And honestly, I don't think that it could have been any better than that. I needed that time. As I mentioned before, previously in this video, actually, I'm gonna plug this own video you're already watching. I got promoted to the director of murder mystery. It was a brand new job position. It took a lot more time and a lot more energy. I also worked at another job at an escape room. And as I mentioned in the original video I made to kick off this channel, Welcome to PH Balance, I'd also gotten out of a 5-year relationship at the beginning of 2020. So I was dealing with a lot. I was working and working and working every chance I got. I did as many shows as I could with Murder Mystery. I picked up as many shifts as I could at my other job because I didn't want to deal with all of the emotions and the baggage and everything that came along with my breakup and my life changing completely from what it was before. So having to just stop everything when the shutdown happened and be inside, once I caught up on sleep and once I binged watched every show I could think of watching on Netflix and caught up on all the YouTube videos I wanted to watch, I had a lot of time, actually nothing but time, to reflect on all of this stuff that had happened. I got to think through my emotions, probably talk through my emotions with myself after enough time had passed and I got tired of not having anyone to talk to. I probably started talking to myself. I was able to kind of work through all of that and start to feel better about myself and start to kind of digest everything that happened, work through it all. And by the end of the quarantine, I was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life, at least with myself, with who I am as a person. I got to learn from the mistakes I've made in my past. I got to set myself up to not make those mistakes in my future. And I felt confident in myself. I felt great. And I mean, by the time I got back to work, it was like a whole new person. I mean, I even had friends comment on it when I was talking to them, them saying that, like, they're just so proud of the person I was because they'd known me for a few years at this point and they hadn't seen this kind of, like, explosion of confidence and self-love just emanating from me ever since they'd known me. So it was really cool to kind of transform and become this whole new version of myself that I wanted to be. You know, set myself up for success. It was awesome. Which rolls me right into number 3, which is self-love, self-care. Something that's very, very important and something that I never practiced until 2020. I'm very much one of those people, I will spoil the crap out of anyone I care about in life and make sure that they're taken care of, but I will not take care of myself. I don't know what it is. I think it's just a human thing in most of us. And it wasn't until I was alone and there was no one else there but myself that I learned, hey, you need to take care of yourself too. Without making this sound unhealthy in any sort of way, I started eating what I wanted to. You know, if I got cravings during quarantine for a certain food, even if it wasn't the most healthy thing in the world, I just went for it. I was eating really, really, really healthy and taking really great care of myself up until the shutdown. Once the shutdown happened, I didn't have as easy access to those healthy foods and healthy groceries. And just like after everything that had happened, you know, one meal where you treat yourself isn't gonna kill you. So I allowed myself to eat those things I wanted to eat. I drink coffee every day, which if you know anything about me, I don't know what it is. I'd never drank coffee until probably the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, and then now I drink coffee every morning. It's one of the highlights of my day. I would meditate in bed before I got up, which really put me in an amazing headspace, which is actually the app that I used, Headspace. Highly recommend it. That's the thing about stuff like this. It sounds really expensive because you don't want to spend this money on yourself, but guys, it was like $60 for a year of meditation. And I can't tell you, even if I only used it the month after the breakup and I never used it again, $60 was more than enough for what that did for me. I mean, it really did just open up my mind to seeing how great the world is and how little the problems are that we face personally. I'm not talking about on a global scale. I'm not saying that the pandemic or COVID or anything like that is small things. I'm just saying that it let me really bring to life what I was struggling with and dealing with, and just honestly let me clear up the space in my head space. It let me think a little deeper about my emotions and my feelings. It helped me process my feelings. It helped me face my days without feeling so defeated from the moment I woke up. I actually felt like I could accomplish great things and that great things were in store for me. I took a lot of baths. Oh my God, guys. If you haven't taken a bath in a while, take a bath. Treat yourself. Hot water, bath salts, bath bombs, essential oils, mood lighting. Put on a little show on Netflix or like a YouTube video, one of mine, if you want to help a bro out. Or even just sit in silence. I mean, there was a lot of times where I would just put on a meditation, lay in the tub, and just like, I'm pretty sure I fell asleep once or twice. It was just the most relaxing thing in the world. I went outside and I just went on walks for hours every day. You know how nice that is, just to take that time for yourself? It's really nice. The only thing that stunk about quarantine is that I wasn't able to go to the gym during that time because the gym was shut down. So that was usually my stress relief. But now if I can find some way to work in all of those things in my everyday life with the gym, I mean, it would be nothing but the best life I could possibly live, honestly. I bought Animal Crossing. I never played Animal Crossing before, but I bought that, played it. It really was super nice and relaxing for that time. It's not a game I think I would pick up and play all the time, but it was super nice because it gave me a sense of routine. Because if you've never played an Animal Crossing game before, the hours match the hours that you live in real time. So if I wake up at 10 in the morning and then get on and play Animal Crossing, it's 10 in the morning in the game. It's real time passing. So if I do everything I need to do in that day, then I really can't do anything until the next day. So it built this sense of structure and routine for me. It was like going to work in the nicest way possible. Do all this cool stuff, and then after a few hours, I'd be like, well, that's it for today. I'll come back tomorrow and do all that stuff. It was really nice. And I saw some requests that I go back and play Animal Crossing on the channel, so I might. But the most important thing, if you get nothing from this video, love yourself. And I'm not talking about just saying compliments to yourself, because that's very nice, and you should talk to yourself in a nice way and not just be so negative to yourself all the time. But I feel like the way to actually get to that point is to practice self-love and self-care. Take time for yourself. You know, if you're tired, take a nap. The world's not going to end, and you're not a bad person if you sleep for a few hours in your day. That's something that's hard for me to do because I'm like, I have so much to do. I have to get all this done. It's really selfish of me if I just nap right now because there's all this other stuff I have to do. No, sleep. You'll feel so much better, and you'll be better equipped to actually do the things you need to do. You know, meditate, drink coffee, go on walks, spend time with your dog or cat or whatever you have. Check in on a friend, have a conversation. Just do things that make you happy. Play video games. My God, I can't tell you. It feels so weird to take time for yourself, but you need to. The world's a much brighter and happier place when you do. And when the world is a brighter and happier place and you're a brighter and happier person, you set yourself up for success, so then it snowballs and it continues to happen and you just have a better and better life. So do it. Number 2, getting to spend so much time with such incredible people. Growing my friendships with the gang, if you will. Number 1, number 2 are very interchangeable. You'll see why. There's a reason number 1's at where number 1's at. But I think number 2, out of everything on the list, is honestly the most special thing. Number 2 and number 3, self-love and self-care as well. I was so alone at the beginning of 2020 with my relationship ending. Nick was not here really. He stepped down from the director and was traveling elsewhere and was honestly probably gonna move. So I didn't think I would be seeing much of him anymore. And then my other best friend, Summer, was also dealing with a lot. You know, I think we got a little tired of each other at the beginning of 2020. Of course, once quarantine happened and everything slowed down, we got closer than we ever had been before. So I think it was good that we had those small little bickering moments here and there, because she was the one who was there for me when my relationship ended. She made sure I wasn't spiraling into a deep depression. And of course, that's a lot for one person to deal with, but we were there for each other, and I really appreciate her for that. Of course, you already know Nick. He's one of my best friends. So the two of them were a huge part of this past year, 2020, for me. I grew very close with both of them. I was already close with them, but I grew even closer with them. Michaela, she basically was like a life coach for me during the quarantine time. I was texting her and calling her every single day. She was giving me life advice, relationship advice, making sure I was all taken care of, and just inviting me into her friend group where I made some really great friends, hopefully lifelong friends. So that was really amazing and special for me. So thank you, Michaela. And Felicia, yeah, same thing. She was there for me. Her and Michaela really made me feel special and at home and brought me in and, you know, listened to me and helped me heal in my time of pain. Dan and Amanda were also fantastic. Very nice, fun people to hang out with, and I hope to see more of them on here as well. I know Amanda is going to be popping up in some future videos as well, and man, I love Dan, so I hope Dan's there too. And then someone you haven't actually gotten to see yet on the channel, Samantha, is also an amazing thing to come out of 2020. I mean, I didn't really meet her until the end of 2020, like December, but she's just so fun, such a ray of sunshine, and so kind. And she actually played a game of Among Us with us that we didn't record, and I'm so sad that I didn't record it. I think it was because some people we were playing with, I didn't feel right about recording people who'd never been recorded before without their permission, so I didn't do it. But oh my god, she'd never played Among Us before, so I was showing her around the map as tour guide Steve. That was the character I came up with. And every single time we would try and tour the map, we would catch someone killing. So we just it prematurely ended the game multiple times because we just walked up on the kill happening. Those tour guide Steve isn't the most exciting character to ever be created. He's the most effective. So that's a fun little behind the scenes story that y'all are never gonna get to see, unfortunately, but it was special for us. I'm glad that we have those moments outside of this channel. You know, not everything has to be recorded and captured. The most special moments and memories you can make are the ones where you're not focusing on the moments and memories. You're focusing in the present, and being there, you know, living fully present in the moment. That's what makes the most special moments and memories in life. That whole core group of people was nothing but exactly what I needed and exactly what everyone needs. Find yourself a good group of friends. I say this all the time, but find people that you trust and can talk to, because those people have your back. I love each and every one of you very, very much. Y'all don't fucking watch my videos, so I know from my analytics that y'all don't watch these videos. And that's a little bit of a stab and a joke, because I know you'll eventually get around to it. I know that y'all are good for that. Y'all are amazing people. So I'm not going to tell you that you're in this video. Hopefully you just find out at some point. But yeah, you'll be seeing some more of all of them, and you'll be able to get to meet Samantha at some point in the near future. We have some games planned that we're going to be playing together. I think y'all will really enjoy her as well. Number 1, creating pH balance. I don't even have to talk about this one that much, but I'm sure I will go on forever. This channel has been a dream of mine for a long time, as I mentioned, and it's been a dream come true since it started. And I feel very passionately about this project that I've created. I've never really created anything before. I've never been the one to put this much energy and effort into something. And it's incredible. I'm feeling so good about something that hasn't even happened yet. The channel has happened, and I know the channel is going to become something. And it may be so small right now, and 2-3 people maybe might watch this video to the end. And that's even pushing it. But I just feel so much love for this channel and community, and I want this thing to grow. And we may only be at teetering 150 right now. You know, I gain one and I lose one. I gain one and lose one. But I'm going to keep pouring energy into this. I'm not going anywhere. So either we're going to grow or we're going to stay the same. And that's fine. But I'm going to be here. I'm going to be making these videos. And I hope you all are going to stick around and watch them, because this is something that's really special for me. And honestly, the only reason I want to reach more people is because I want to be a special moment in other people's lives and days. I want to pick you up when you're feeling sad. I want to be a Michaela, a Dan, a Nick, Amanda, Felicia, Samantha, Summer. I want to be one of those people for you, even if we don't know each other. I know I can't physically be that person, and I'm not saying I'm gonna be your best friend. I'm just a guy on a screen if you don't know me. But I just want to give you a few laughs and just remind you that life is not as bad as it seems. 2020 sucked, but there were good things that came out of it. At least 10 in my life, so I'm sure you had some good things too. So we're in this together, okay? I hope you're doing well, and I hope 2021 brings so much more top 10s for all of you guys. It doesn't feel right to say like, comment, and subscribe when ending the video like this, but if you enjoy the content, please do, because as I stated, I'm not going anywhere, and I want this to be something special. So thank you so much for making it this far in the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.